Hello and welcome to the completion of round 9 of the 2010-2011 CMCA season, and you've got myself, Adam Kane, and Adam Mickelson here for the A&A Cricket Show.
Be here again, and I think we better apologise because we did film an episode.
Yeah, we filmed at the end of round 8, and unfortunately the batteries died, so disappointing because we were pretty chirpy after that. We thought that was a good episode.
Life doesn't have anything that would cause batteries, doesn't it?
Different size, mate. Anyway, well, just recapping round 8, A&A won their second game in a row, which was against Carnegie South this time, and we finished 4 for 155, again on the back of another great opening knock between Bill Biggs and James White. I think that one was 90 odd runs or something like that, so they're doing really well opening the batting. And in particular, Andy Lee with the ball taking 6 for 26. And he's on fire at the moment, Andy, as we'll move towards round 9, where...
But just on that game...
On Carnegie South.
On Carnegie South, they were really disappointing because I was expecting a lot of improvement considering their results at the start of the year, but as they've shown at this back end of the year, they've really gone down, but they never really had any intent to win the game. It was just a matter of bowling on off stump, and they didn't even try to win the game. So
also, I guess the disappointing aspect from their behalf was the intent with their batting.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, like they just they never had any I guess desire to pump the run rate up at the start, and you're just thinking where are the runs coming from? And as a result, they made 41 in round 7 after Christmas. Round 8 against us, so we're all out for 90. And, well, we'll talk about it later, but they didn't do too well in the last round either. But, yeah, you're right. Disappointing for a team that was 3-1 for the first 4 games. So, anyway, we'll move on to A&A versus Amiga, and obviously, as you know very well, Adam, Amiga were very keen to do well against us after, I guess, not criticism, but just, just observations in regards to, well, I guess, Amiga's season last year. They just missed out on the finals last year, so being 0-9 just before we played them, 0-8 before we played them, I guess everyone's got a comment to wonder what's going on there, and obviously they've lost a lot of players, a lot of injuries.
But a lot of clubs have lost players, but look, they're always tough games against the media. Yeah, we've always had pretty close stoushes in years gone by, but it was good to get the points.
Absolutely, and that was based on week 1. Bill won the toss, and A&A finished 8 for 240. And again, that was after an opening partnership of 96 between Bill Biggs and James White. Bill went out the last over for tee, and terrible shot, and he was kicking himself more than anyone.
In the doors.
Yeah, in the doors, that's right. And finished on 41, and then afterwards, we lost 3 for 1 after that. So after being done for 96, we were 3 for 97 straight after tee, and then obviously a rear guard action between yourself and Brad Lovell just to soak up some overs so we could have a bit of an assault at the end.
To Amiga's credit, they actually bowled themselves back into the game because at one stage we're going about 4 and over up until about 60 runs, and then all of a sudden there was just a stop. And the stats, but I think
it was off 38 overs. We scored 58 runs during that.
Yeah, so all of a sudden they got to the stage where the run rate really dropped back. So I guess me and Brad just wanted us to get a partnership going again, and have wickets in hand when the hurry carry came at the end.
That's right, and you did it well. But as you say, D'Amico and Remus were bowling quite well, and the leg spinner. What was his name?
Burns or
no. It was something like. I don't know, it's got an F in there or something, F-Shack or something like that. Anyway, played his first game, journeyman apparently at Amiga, and he played his first game in Longy, and he took 3 for the leg spinner. Bowls with a fair look.
I thought he bowled really well. I know his figures, he went for a few.
3 for 80 off about 20 odd overs.
Yeah, I thought he bowled really well, but getting back to our guys, the pleasing thing out of all this was Brad Lovell, because he did do it hard when we were batting together. He wasn't in a position to play big shots, but when the game opened up, he scored I think 60 odd and took us through to a 240.
That's right, and in addition to that, Razzie at the end, as what he does very well, finished not out on 39. good clean hitter at the end in those last.
What I didn't understand at the end was, I felt sorry for the leg spinner coming on because he bowled really well up until stage and was given a spell. They brought Reamers on for maybe 1 or 2, got me out, and then they brought him on probably to bowl the last 5 from his end. And he's bowling to 2 left-handers on the shorter side of the ground, and unfortunately, or fortunately for us, but unfortunate for them, that Razmi just ate him up, and Brad got some big runs off him. But, but the good thing is Razmi's just a class player.
And he's just really just sitting comfortably in regards to what he's been doing with his batting. He's made over 200 runs at an average of 40.
So it just suits him coming in that last 15. Whether he could do the same and sustain it throughout the innings if he was batting high, I'm not too sure, but it just suits him. The scenario was perfect for him, and I guess fortunate enough, 240 was a good score.
It was a good pass score. And so we were 104 after 50 overs, and then the last 22 we piled on the last 136. So good result. And in reply, Amiga consistently looks threatening, but I guess we just got wickets at the right time.
They stacked the top of the order, which I think was probably a good
McGaw,
thing to do.
Mullane, Ferguson at 4 and Beckett at 3. All out for 192 Amiga, with only 3 bowlers used in 60 odd overs. Andy Lee, 19 overs, 5 for 67. Razzie, 20 overs, 3 for 60, and Brad Dolman, 20 odd overs and 2 for 55.
I think before you get to Amiga, just Andy Lee, and I was speaking to one of the guys, I think it might have been Stewie, during the last game, is one thing I've picked. I saw that Russell, because they're very similar bowlers, bowl against you guys when they routed you, but he doesn't get those big wickets. Obviously, he ties up and ends very economical, but the good thing about Andy is he's a match winner. He gets big bags, and I think he's probably sitting on mid-20s.
He is. He's actually he's equal with Robbie Dahan on 24 wickets. Robbie's played 9 games, Andy's played 7. So, and Andy's got a strike rate of a wicket every 18 balls, which is
his average would be pretty.
He's averaging 11. So
is he winning it? He must be.
Andy by a mile.
It's good on him.
So it's great to have, obviously a player with that class back.
Loved him
last year when you were captaining, mate.
Even the fat man Campbell, but the pleasing thing was Brad and Razmi. Razmi bowler, he got a very good ball to Mullane.
Yes.
Tim didn't look like he was going to make a big score anyway, but it's always to get him out early. And Dolman, Brad that was probably the most consistent pace I've seen him bowl.
And he's bowling 20 over spells virtually.
And he had probably 3 or 4 drop catches off his bowling. So that's always been the key this year, I think, with you guys, is you haven't been able to make those runs and to be able to defend it because you've made 70s. And I still think Lee, Razzie, and Dolman are probably 3 of the better bowlers going around. So if we can keep making over 200, we're always going to have a chance to win.
Yeah, that's right. And going back to our batting, James White with 52 runs, he's the 3rd highest run scorer for the season with 2 games to go. So that's a great result for an 18-year-old.
And it just shows all of a sudden these senior guys are stepping up and the results are coming our way.
That's right. So, having said that, there's still a lot to improve on. We're still susceptible to a major batting collapse, which has occurred nearly every game, some worse than others, but that's just obviously.
But I guess in some ways we turned the corner last week, because a couple of years ago or a year ago, if we were 0 for 100, 3 for 100, things might have just gone out of control. But we were able to fight through it.
That's right. But also in the last 4 games, our opening partnership is averaging about 100 over the last 4 games. So with that in mind, at least the batting collapse has fallen off a decent platform.
Exactly right. But with Amiga,
there's 0 and 10, 0 and 9.
It's I still think 240 in our ground is very chasing, and it was very gettable. And there were stages there where they could have, if they bided their time and were patient.
Well, Cal Wilkinson was he was dropped early a couple of times.
He got dropped 3 times.
Yeah, and then was starting to really unwind and play some really aggressive shots, and we did need to get a wicket pretty smart, because as we've done in a few games, we've lost 3 or 4, dropped 3 or 4 catches in a row, and the heads can easily get bowed and whatnot, but